Assalamu alaikum. Can you guys hear me well? Um, First, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your attendance. And thank you, Oshram team, for making this happen. Uh, Today, I'm here to talk to you about a couple of things. Talk to you about Omantel and the journey of AI and the word Odyssey. Odyssey, the definition of it is a journey that is full of adventures. وبالعربي ملحمة. I think our journey with AI and in these coming 20 minutes is a very exciting journey that will start to show you what we are doing, what we're planning to do, and how we look at AI overall. We'll start with a quick note from a dear friend.
Hello all and al-salam alaikum, our dear distinguished OSHRM delegates. Welcome to Muscat. I wanted to introduce my dear friend Hasan from Omantel.
Thank you.
Hasan will tell you about their journey with AI. I hope you enjoy it as much as I did preparing it with him. Over to you, Hasan.
Thank you, Morgan. Morgan Freeman, everybody. The famous Hollywood actor. Also done by Gen AI, as a legal disclaimer. Here's how we're going to start talking, and the agenda points are as follows. First, it's the journey of AI. Then we're going to take a quick snapshot about how AI in HR and what are the latest and greatest use cases. And then we're going to look at AI at Omantel, and finally about what's next. So bear with me in this exciting 20 minutes to take you through our journey. Each AI image that you see within the presentation has been generated by AI. Each graph that you see within the presentation has been generated by AI, also known as Gen AI, that stands for Generative AI. To give you an idea about AI and how fast it's adopting, it took the internet around 15 to 20 years to reach an 80% saturation. It took smartphones around 15 years. It took AI around 3 to 4 years. So 20, 15, 3 to 4 years. What happened? What's happening? AI has been there for some time, by the way, over 10 years. But what happened is the shift between analytical AI, which is the basic artificial intelligence that we've all been accustomed to, into what we call generative AI, which is an AI that actually generates either pictures, as you saw, either guidance, and later on, drug discovery. I'm extremely excited personally on what AI will do in the healthcare industry very soon. Inshallah, in Oman and in Omantel, we will have a leading role into doing so. We were talking about how fast things are adopting. It took ChatGPT 3 around 2 years to catch up to 1 million users. It took GPT around 5 days to catch up to 1 million users. I repeat, GPT-3, almost 2 years, 2.5 years, to 1 million users. ChatGPT, 5 days. So from an adoption perspective, we are at the cusp of a major change. If you ask me, we've just reintroduced the internet. This is the change of a humanity as we know it. This is not another technology. This is not another software. This is the change of a lifestyle, the change of a potential for our children, and the change the way they're going to be educated, a change at the way they're going to be dealing with things, and 80% is predicted in 2030 will be fully interacted by AI. 80%, guys. In terms of the workforce, I'm often getting asked the famous question for AI, will we all be replaced by AI? Well, I have good news and bad news. The good news, no, not all. The bad news is that with Gen AI, you can see that 70% of the workforce will actually need the help of AI. Will they be replaced or not? Yet to be seen. We're going to be tackling that point. An idea of what kind of economy that is generating, this is a $4.4 trillion economy. So in summary, Gen AI will be equivalent to around $4 trillion and will actually cover around 70% of the jobs, or be part of 70% of the jobs. So AI is a buzzword recently, yeah? And everybody's saying AI and ChatGPT, and you know. We are more practical in Amantel in terms of how it works. And everything we are trying to build is moving away from Amantel and building for Oman. This is extremely important. An example of Expedia and what they're doing with AI, they have integrated ChatGPT. Our friend from Microsoft, will be extremely happy to have this example, where they are fully enabled as a full-fledged customer service representative, about to take me on my honeymoon. My wife is not here, so she cannot hear this and that. Salesforce is integrating their AI into the whole CRM. Walmart, one of my favorite, I've actually tried this in person. You tell them, I want to buy a cereal box. They tell you, do you want to buy the usual? Over SMS. Amazing. An example of Expedia. So I write to them, hi, how can I help you travel? I'll say, I want to go to Hawaii on my honeymoon. And I tell them my preferences. So I tell them, there's this island and that island. It answers. So I answer, can I do surfing there? And it tells you, congratulations on your upcoming honeymoon. Yes, you can. I ask about the month. Is April is a good month? It answers me automatically. And then I ask, can you recommend a couple of romantic resorts and restaurants? It actually recommends. And here's the most interesting part. Once you're done with all that, you say, go to my trips, and all the conversation that you have had in few minutes was the most efficient, the most accurate, the cheapest, the most efficient CSR, ladies and gentlemen, already introduced to replace all travel agencies. So that is just a simple use case of how transformative these little AI tools are. Now, just having a snapshot, as I was preparing this presentation, I wanted to have a snapshot about how is it being used in HR, and where in HR is it being used. So we looked at really few companies. One of the most interesting, in my opinion, is not only the recruitment, which is a massive adoption. There's the performance management that Google is doing. So Google does the whole performance management over AI. It's a very interesting example. Please make sure you Google it afterwards. Workforce Analytics does the whole setup for McKinsey in terms of predicting the jobs of the future and their training and development. Employee wellness, Johnson & Johnson is famous for that. And guess who else does it? Fitbit. So Fitbit, the wellness one, monitors their employees and recommends for them diets and workouts. Employee onboarding, the most famous, obviously, is T-Mobile, where they completely AI'd the team's onboarding. Learning and development, PwC, and our friends from PwC will tell you. Diversity and inclusion, our friends from Microsoft will tell you how ChatGPT is helping. And finally, our friends from Shell will tell you about their digital assistant and AI. And these are only the beginning, guys. This is just the tip of the iceberg. And that iceberg will not take 3 years to mature. It will be much faster. An example of what we've mentioned is Johnson & Johnson. So Johnson & Johnson, in that fact, looks at the wellness of their own employees utilizing AI. A major example and very easy to adopt. The second part, one of my favorite, is Amazon. 1.6 million employees worldwide. Their turnover is around 10%, so that's around 200,000 hiring, with millions of CVs pouring in. AI is doing the screening, AI is doing the recommendation to an accuracy that is unmatched. The interesting part. What are we doing in Amantel? In Amantel, we've adopted AI in so many ways. But the key about AI is the first letter. You all know what's the first letter of AI? Artificial. But we're human. And I'm going to talk towards the end about what artificial versus a human is. In Amantel, we've managed to serve you and serve many other customers across Oman throughout all of our products. So we're moving from a product center growth path into more of a customer-centric. So our strategy adopting AI is to go through the story. What is the story? In a company, to grow any company, you have two ways to grow. You either grow the customers, or you grow the products you're selling to customers. Or even better, you grow both. We are at a path to grow both. So we are creating in the following order. We're creating a telco that we are all part of and understand and use every day. We're creating an advertising technology company that will harness the data that we will gather. We're creating a super app. We're creating an Oman super app that will help us as citizens to fill up that digital gap that we have between us and many other suppliers. We're building a fintech, the bank of the future. And we're finally building a marketplace. I don't know if you've heard, but we are building with Amazon, Amazon Oman. I think it's about time to bridge that gap. Just a quick item on the marketplace. A marketplace and e-commerce in general is measured by a percentage of GDP. يعني في كل بلد لتعرفون تطورها, you actually check the percentage of e-commerce to GDP. E-commerce to GDP in Saudi is around 2.5%. E-commerce to GDP in UAE is around 4%. E-commerce to GDP in the UK is around 12%. E-commerce to GDP in China is around 40%. And e-commerce to GDP in Oman is around 1.7%. What does that tell us? We still have 98% to bridge. And if you want to look at the best in class in e-commerce, shockingly, it's China. The US is around 15 to 20%. So what are we doing in Omantel? We'll have a lot of data that we know about our customers. And do you know what's the new oil? It's data. AI, in general, is a tool that needs to be used in a certain manner. It is not an outcome. It is not an objective. It is a mean. It's not the end. What would be the end is the amount of data you will generate. So in Omantel, we aspire to build a unique and unmatchable asset. You know what's that asset? It's the data. Looking at the data, from a telco perspective, we gather some part. But guess who else gathers more data? Sharaf DJ knows a lot about you. Amazon knows a lot about you. Retailers knows a lot about you. And banks knows a lot about you. All these guys have data about you as a single customer. So Hasan, in the morning, he goes to the gym has information. Hasan pays his bill Omantel has information. I bank with Bank X has information. I buy something from Sharaf DJ or Amazon, they have that information. And finally, whenever I watch on Netflix, they have that information. But Hasan is one person. We are aiming to unify this into one outlook and understand a 360-degree from data what Hasan is doing in this case. With that, we are planning to build our new ad tech venture to be able to actually monetize this data and cross and upsell you. I'll give you a quick example of how that's doing. To build this, here's the circle of our strategy. We're building the bank of the future. We're building the super app of the future for Oman. We're building the marketplace of the future, and we're getting you this data all together into one setup. That, my dear friends and colleagues, will be the digital future economy of Oman in the coming 12 to 16 months. We will never be able to do any of the things we're doing without forming a symbiotic relationship. Subhanallah, a symbiotic relationship was born first in nature, before talking about it. A symbiotic relationship is the same one that the turtle has with the butterfly. Do you know that I did not know, my daughter told me about this one, that the butterfly flies in and sucks the tears out of the turtle's tear ducts. If it doesn't do so, there's a lot of turtles that will go blind. Subhanallah. We're all familiar with this relationship. It is the alligator and the bird. So the alligator doesn't eat the bird. The bird gives the alligator free dental and feeds off the crumbs And they don't eat each other, they actually feed on each other. I can see everybody smiling and saying, how is this relevant to AI and digital and transformation? Dear colleagues, this relationship also exists in your palm. It is the same relationship between Facebook and Messenger. So if you think about it, Messenger within Facebook is a separate app. Yet it has a symbiotic relationship to Facebook itself, with a single sign-on and an actual same look and feel, which very much will resemble how a Mantel super app will encompass a marketplace, the bank, the ad tech, and partners. So now you know how it will feel like. It will have a symbiotic action. What we are aiming to do is ultimately, in the near future, build one digital stop for you to do everything. You can also do a Mantel stuff, buy data, top up your card, whatever. That is the business as usual. But this is a one digital stop for us to capture your everyday life. A quick case about our Mantel use of AI and how it will work. And this is one of the coolest examples. So one is hyper-personalized bundles. كلام كبير, hyper-personalized bundles. So hyper is very simple. Hyper is because it's between the bank, it's between the marketplace, it's between Oman, it's between Omantel and the partners. Hyper. Personalized, they don't offer me makeup. And I get offered makeup a lot. Obviously, my daughter has been shopping on my Amazon account. Keeps popping up on my Facebook. Bundles, I get to do X with Y. And we'll take a quick example. We're also obviously adopting AI into the next gen chatbot, Lex. We're doing social media listening. We're doing social network analysis, predictive customer support, but we're not doing this for a Mantel. We're doing this for the symbiotic relationship of everything we're building. An example of hyper-personalized bundles is that I go and I say on our e-commerce app, inshallah soon. I don't know if it looks familiar for you. It's going to look like that. So I say, it's built by Amazon, so wink, wink. So I go and I say, I want to buy golf sets for adult. As I do so, you know what pops up? An offer from SIFA. An offer, a free ride to SIFA. A free entrance at Al Moj Golf, etc., etc. Another famous example that I promise you I will use is that I want this 100-inch Samsung TV. My wife is not letting me buy it. It's expensive, and and she's the boss. My point is, I will go into the Amazon. I will say I want to buy this 100-inch TV. It costs, let's say, 1,000 riyals. Automatically through Oman Digital Bank, I will be offered a buy now, pay later option, or even free installments based on my credit score. And that will cost me around 10 riyals a month. Very similar to the way you're dealing with your iPhones and subscriptions with Omantel. But this has nothing to do with Omantel. This has to do with your banking profile. That's symbiotic. What do we think the future of AI is? Which is a very interesting question. And I urge you all to actually ChatGPT it. You will keep getting different answers every time. I'll give you a small example. When we were preparing these slides with Mr. Morgan Freeman, we had to change a few of them in the past 2 weeks because things changed in the past 2 weeks. What used to change in 2 years changed in 2 weeks. Did you know that for ChatGPT, they actually launched a custom GPT that doesn't need writing lines of code? I'll tell you a little secret that we have in our family. I told my 16-year-old son, I will give you 50 riyals if you build an AI app on ChatGPT, and he doesn't know coding, of course. He's a high school student. And he's almost done. And almost soon, you're going to see an app done by Hasan Al Bitar, who's my 16-year-old kid, on ChatGPT store. No need for coding. You want to know how he did it? You can chat GPT it. It will give you 10 steps, you'll do it. So now that is enabled. The second part is now you can actually buy and sell GPTs in the new GPT store. And that is the beginning of the new Apple Store. Text-to-speech, that's something that I knew was coming and should be coming in multiple languages as well. This is my favorite. You know you can upload a book now into ChatGPT. And obviously it's much cheaper than it used to be. The updated knowledge is now till April 2023. If you know that the previous ChatGPT had an issue is that the data is not updated. So now it's updated until, April 2023. Very soon, there's going to be a dynamic update, and, that ship would have been sailed. And finally, and one of the most important, copyright shield. That is coming to ChatGPT, and have already been introduced in ChatGPT 4. Now, what does that mean? And what does that mean across everything we're doing? It means three things. One, I adapt or leave. Two, it is up for us in this room to dictate how the next generation will actually start adapting his life, education, and ultimately his healthcare. Three, how do you use all this power to help our country to move from A to B and B to C, or A to Z? Why don't we just do a quantum leap? Keep that in mind, that by 2030, 80% of humans will engage and help find solutions on a daily basis utilizing AI. In fact, today morning, I was a very interesting speech that we were told that our online time for entertainment will increase up to 60% versus 39% now. That's online entertainment traffic in 2030, because AI will make our life easier. Our working hours will be less. So, will AI take my job? Don't worry. AI won't take your job. But I have bad news for you. Somebody using AI will. I will let this sink in for a minute, where AI won't take our jobs. It is somebody who knows how to use AI and harness that power that will take our jobs. My call to action towards the end, as I was preparing the presentation, I said, I need to finish the presentation, not only talking about what we've done in Amantel and what I think AI is going and what so. It has to be clear call to action. Inshallah, next year, when we stand here again, if Dr. Ghalib allows us, and stand here again, we will actually do a cross-check about, have we embraced the future? Have we tried these tools? Please feel free to take a picture of this slide and the slide after, where this will give you a clear call to action about an HR challenges and trials. As you look at these adaptations, it is important for us to embrace change. We look at LinkedIn, and you're going to tell me everybody has LinkedIn. Have you looked up how to harness the data of LinkedIn using AI? That's the challenge. Gain predictive insights into your workforce through Workday. Slack, people who haven't tried Slack, really needs to look at it. And finally, I want to tell you to take the next step. And that's the second slide. Explore these tools online. Play with them. Understand what AI can do for you. Start a pilot in your departments. For AI is not meant for one department. AI is meant to be introduced in everything we do. In fact, if I were you, I will give my teams a challenge to build 3 uses of AI cases in each and every department. In marketing, in sales, in customer care, in finance, in HR, etc. Start by using these tools. And for the end, I will tell you that I will quote Mr. Gibson, that the future is here. It's just not evenly distributed yet. So it's really up to us as a country and as companies to actually distribute the future. And finally, towards the end, I will tell you, we have artificial intelligence, we have human intelligence. Let's put them together to have an outstanding output of creativity, innovation, and most of all, well-being. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for your time.